This is David from the Fredcast. We're live from the show for Interbike TV. I'm talking to Andrew Juskaitis from Giant, and we are looking at the Faith. Gravity-oriented bike?
Yeah, absolutely. Free ride-oriented bike. Faith was first launched in 2005 with our Maestro line. It lasted in our line for 2 years. We weren't really satisfied with the types of results we were getting from that bike, so we discontinued it. Well, here it is, 2010. Time to relaunch Faith. We're absolutely satisfied with the over a year of testing we've put into it. Our professional free rider, Kurt Sorge's been riding on it. We're ready to go production. This is the bike we're looking at today, the 2010 Faith.
So you bring the bike back, you've probably made a number of changes. Take me through those.
Massive changes. The only thing that stays the same from that original bike is the strategy of our Maestro suspension system. That the linkages and all of that haven't changed at all. Everything else around the Maestro suspension has changed, and that being, of course, the frame.
Okay. So first, take me through the Maestro suspension and explain to everybody how it works.
Okay, great question. Super complicated answer, but I can really simplify it. So it's a dual link design that's become very, very popular with some of our brand and our competitors as well. Simply the best suspension system on the planet. Reasons why? 3 key reasons: activity, independence, and total efficiency. So that means it pedals very well, it's completely active to all the types of bumps you're going to find out there on the trail, and it's independent of braking forces. So it's one of those suspension systems that really is the best of all worlds. That's Maestro.
Nice. And on this bike, how much travel are we talking about?
It's a free ride bike, so it's got 7 inches of rear wheel travel and made it do about 7 inches of front wheel travel, so it's a very well balanced bike.
Now take me through some of the changes on the frame itself.
Okay, massive changes. Let's start at the beginning of the bike with the head tube. The head tube, as you can see, is a 1.5 standard lower cup, 1.125" upper cup, becoming a very industry standard right now. It's not just strictly marketing, it actually serves a great engineering purpose. That engineering purpose is to create the largest possible head tube. Larger head tube equals larger weld area for the down tube here. The whole idea is to make sure that the bike doesn't flex from side to side. You don't want side to side flex, especially when you're railing through a rock section or something like that. You want to have the biggest area up front, you want to have the biggest area down at the bottom bracket. To tie that all together, obviously you have a massive down tube. Massive weld area, massive construction. Keeping in mind this is an extremely lightweight free ride bike as well. We weren't willing to get this over the 40-pound weight limit. We wanted it right under the 40-pound weight limit. So this bike is very, very light as well.
Mm-hmm. So obviously one of the things that characterizes a free ride bike, no front derailleur.
No front derailleur on this particular bike, but if you look very closely, you'll see that the seat tube is round. It can accept a front derailleur. If the purchaser of this bike wanted to go ahead and put a front derailleur on, it's their opportunity to do that. Obviously, it's a free ride bike. It's more gravity oriented. If you wanted to ride back up, you're welcome to do that by putting on your own front derailleur as well.
Are there different variations of this model?
So there are 2 versions. We're looking at the Faith Zero, which is our flagship model. There's also the Faith One. Between those 2 bikes, the only difference are the components to make it a little bit more affordable on the Faith One.
Yeah. So take me through some of the component differences.
Okay, so some of the key component differences, both of the bikes will use a coil-sprung rear shock. With a bike with this much travel and for free riding oriented type of riding, you want to have a very, very active shock. It's going to be a coil-sprung shock. Air shocks haven't quite reached the activity level of a coil-sprung shock. So both the bikes share a coil-sprung fork or shock. When it comes to all the rest of the bits and bots, the brakes, the crankset, and all of that, you're going to find a lot of the similar brands, just with one step below what you're seeing here on the Faith Zero.
Sure, makes sense. And where can people get more information about this bike?
Great source of information, of course, is our website, www.giantbicycle.com. That's a great source. Also, your local dealer may have this bike already in stock. They'll certainly have our catalog as well. All your questions can be answered through your local dealer.
Excellent. Sounds great. Andrew, thank you so much. Have a great show.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
And this is David from the Fredcast. We're live from the show for Interbike TV.